Yes, I am quite literally fashionably late. Okay, this takes time. This hair takes some time. And hello everyone. I'm just posting on my Instagram that I'm live because I forgot to. I hate how the phone makes you look uglier when you actually take the photo. I don't know how many of you have iPhones, but like take out your camera and try to take a photo of yourself, right? And then as soon as you take the photo, out of nowhere, a bunch of shadows are in the photo and it makes you look ugly. Like, why do they do that? And no, it's not just me. Because on the stream, it looks normal. But then on here, like, I don't know. Ugh. The mic is low? For recording, it wasn't. Hold on. I guess I'll increase it. How's that? Is that better? I still don't know which notch it is. Sometimes there's a ringing noise, so I turn it down. So that should be better. Hopefully. Let me know if it's not. Okay. I kind of look whatever, but it's okay. Anyway, as you guys see on the topic of the stream, I wanted to stream yesterday because like it would have been better, but I had to do my hair and I wake up really late. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like basically nocturnal. I go to bed at like 5 or 6 a.m. and then I've fixed this schedule so many times. It always just ends up reverting back, and I wake up at like 2, 3 p.m., sometimes 4 p.m. And it's for a few reasons, but because of that, when I have to stream, it's very close to the time when I'm waking up, so I don't have that much time to get ready. So that's why I end up being late. And I even estimated up this time. I was like, if I put it at 9, I'm sure that'll be enough time. And then by the time I was done with like everything, it was already 9. So anyway, that's why I'm normally late. It's not just because I'm black. Thank you. Turn up the volume. Okay. How's that? That should be better. I see the level went up to like yellow. It should be good now. Hope there's not a ringing. Okay, there we go. Just posting everywhere that I'm live. For no reason, also, it's always so randomly hot when you start streaming. Like, I'll be freezing any other time, and then when I'm streaming, it's just, I'm heated. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm on Instagram, by the way. I have subscriptions on there, and I've been posting like cooking stuff behind the scenes and things like that. I'm gonna try to post even more. I had to take the photo again because I was stupid and didn't save it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm drinking princess water, so you're gonna have to excuse the burping this stream. I don't have time to click mute every time. I don't always feel it coming, so unfortunately, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay. So, did you guys miss me? The quesadillas look good. Thank you. I cooked some more today because I always cook in a big batch. So I have enough for today and tomorrow as well. So like 3 days worth. Mexicans really know how to get high leftover value. Let me tell you, I've cooked almost every genre of food except the ones I don't like. So I've cooked Thai, I've cooked Chinese, I've cooked American, Italian, and by far Mexicans win because not only does it taste good, it's consistent. You can use the same, I mean, all of them kind of have like the same flavors within their culture, right? They have the same type of vegetables they're going to use locally to them every time. But like, I don't know, Mexican food's very creative. Like you can do a lot with it and put a lot in it. And it's always good for several days after you cook it. So I really like cooking Mexican food. It is challenging to find the tortilla though. I have to use cassava flour because the flour ones have corn in it. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't realize how bad having a corn allergy is in America. They think it's just listed under corn. It's not. It's listed under a bunch of chemicals that you would never think. Like nobody's thinking, "Oh, citric acid is corn." Everyone I tell that to is like, "What do you mean? Isn't it from a fruit?" It's like, "No, it's actually from corn and mold." But yeah, the cooking's been a challenge because of that, but I've noticed that Mexican food, despite that, has been really efficient. So what if you're gonna learn something for the first time for cooking, I would recommend Mexican because I think it's all around the best. It's the easiest of all the other ethnicities that I've noticed, that I've cooked, that I said earlier. And not only is it the easiest, but like there's a lot of room to mess up without ruining the meal. And some of the ingredients you could buy pre-made, like the seasoning packets, Siete, I think the brand's called. They make a good one without corn in it. I have made it from like the just getting the powders and then measuring each thing and doing it myself, but that takes forever. So that's the only one I can eat. And yeah, it's like got great leftover value, tastes great, easy for beginners. Would recommend. I don't say Italian's easy because I like cooking chicken parm. That was like one of the first meals I learned how to cook, and I really like it. It's like my favorite food if we're not including foods I can't eat because of allergies. And it's a little difficult though because in the sense of like getting the breadcrumbs, like that might be hard for a beginner. And also I hate pasta generally, unless it's macaroni and cheese, so I don't say Italian food is like my go-to. Thank you for the super chats. Town is $10 super chat. Looking good tonight, Britt. Love that color, and you definitely have Vol 5 starting strong. Also looking much older than the age of girls. Uh-huh. Oh my god, we already have the crazy people in chat. They're here to watch. How exciting. Like, I was talked about this on Twitter briefly. I'm gonna get to Martinez stuff in a second. I just haven't streamed in a while, so I never get a chance to like just talk for a second. So um yeah, there's like a stalker situation that I've had, and I posted a community post about it if you want to read about it. But TLDR, there's always like a group of people where they feel like slighted because they didn't get enough attention, but they won't actually register that as the reason why, so they find something else. And then they become stalkers. And I'm sure many YouTubers deal with this, but like it's like a small dedicated group that will like are very loud, so they make it look bigger than what it is. It'll be like 10 people, 10, 15 people. And so they'll keep posting like the same thing over and over psychotically and make like 10 accounts, and I'll block each one and immediately they make a new account. It's actually insane. They have no life. Like, why don't you go cook Mexican food? That would be a better use of your time. I don't understand because I don't like having to I don't like watching content that I don't like unless it's so bad that it's funny. And most content that you won't like isn't going to meet that requirement of like it's so bad that it's funny. An example of that is like, let's say you watch Twilight, right? Like that's so bad that it's funny and good. It's so bad that it turned good. Or like I don't know, watching The Room. Like that's the only time I could really enjoy that. But most of the time when it's like I'm having to research certain videos, it's like some of the time, not all of the time, but some of the time it's like, ugh, why I don't want to watch more of their content. So I don't know why people do that for free. That's actually crazy. Cause like I get paid to do that and I don't even want to do it, to be honest. Like I like making videos that give people information or entertain them, but like it comes at a cost sometimes. Stinky Face, $2 Canadian. Looking forward to see another meltdown. Oh, get ready for it. It's here. I'm gonna go through it in a second. Neighborhood Sniper, Rolo is king. King of making things up. King of bullshitting. Sure. Taylor Swift greater than Destiny Star Wars, $1. Thank you. And $5 super chat from Dia Vishaj. Love your videos and you look great today. What do you think of Daily Wire's and every sensible person's beef with Pearl's stance on marriage and divorce. Thank you. So beef with Pearl's stance on marriage and divorce. I think she just says it because she's projecting. Like, she likes the idea of a man not being able to leave her, you know, because she's like really desperate and has low self-esteem. Hold on, I have a clip for this actually. Really quick. Not to delay it much longer, but since somebody brought it up, you know.
You listen to this man, and I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's real. Her answer to the question, why do you listen to this sexist trash, basically boils down to, oh, it's because I hate myself.
From a young age, I haven't thought highly of myself. I never thought that I
We can tell. By the low standards she has, we can tell.
deserved a lot, to be honest. I never thought of myself as a queen. And I never thought of myself super highly. I'm gonna just be honest here. From a young age, I was what you call humble.
A pick me?
Okay, most of my friends, right, were generally like more attractive than me. I was never the hot friend.
This is so sad. Like, imagine, oh my god, you couldn't waterboard that out of me. Oh my god. I mean, like, I get like being vulnerable and like sharing some stories, but just like if you felt rejected before, but it's the way that she said it where it's like she's always the ugly friend. That's like, you could not waterboard that out of me.
Most guys, even the average guys, they would ask me about my friend first. And if that didn't work out, then they would come crawling to me. So, yeah, I would say low self-esteem. That's the main one. And yeah, being humbled. That's why I can listen to Manosphere content.
Because she's humble. That's one way of pulling it. Yeah, I saw that on the feed today. I was like, no way, she actually just said that. She needs to find some uglier friends. I know. You know, that actually is like a problem. Do men have this problem, guys? Because this is actually a problem for women that don't take care of themselves. They turn very bitter when, like, the friend that's seen as more attractive or whatever, if they get too much attention and it draws it away from them. You hear stories about that all the time. I don't think that happens to men. Why? Why is that not an issue for men? Like, let's say you have Chad Thunder PP and he's like around you and you're just like really average looking and he's pulling all the women. How come it's not a problem for men, but it's a problem for women? And they like internalize that. Why is that? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, if guys do deal with that. I think the only version I've seen of that is like, you know, like incel online type of thing. I mean, it's not like a video game. Incel online. But yeah, like, oh, Chad Thundercock gets all the girls, but I don't know, maybe I've seen that a few times, but other than that, maybe it's because the men aren't vocal about it. I don't know. Danger Man 5, £9.99. Not standing up tonight. I thought about it, but I thought maybe last time that's why I was overheating. So I figured I'd just take it easy today and relax, as I should be, because I'm a woman. Hadith Mercado, talk about Elisa Jordana, Jim Ward, Nicholas Pedo Skin, how Lisa has not denounced or spoken out against that monster. YouTube it. That type of stuff happens all the time. Like, look how people are handling Andrew Tate despite all this evidence coming out. Like, enough said. It's only now a year later, after I did all the research calling it out back then, that now some people are speaking out. Some people just didn't know, and I understand. But then some other people just now chose when it's safe to speak up. And then there's other people just still like sweeping under the rug and kind of like in denial about like blatant abuse, in my opinion, and what I would consider trafficking based on like the tactics he used on women. I went through some of the recent evidence. I haven't gotten a chance to like really dig into it, but Nick Monroe did some coverage of it, and there's some leaks with the war room, and I saw that stuff. Completely unrelated, you guys should check out Owl Onlooker for take coverage. Anyway, Nick Wilson, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Bimbo soap link in the bio. Hail Brittany. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to get some soap, go to Reed Street Soap. There's new stuff here. Michelle is currently the one of the 2 owners. She's currently tending to her husband because he had surgery. So send them some get well wishes if you feel up to it. But yeah, new fall collection. The candles behind me are the candles. That one is the Haunted Campfire, and that one is the Bimbo one, the pink one. You can't see it here, but in full screen. They smell really good together also. So if you want to buy that, go to Reed Street Soap. I'll link it after the stream. Yeah, you especially deal with crazy people if you make content that like responds to other content. I noticed that's a thing, because then you make a lot of enemies and then people get mad even if you're correct and you like did 100% of your research and you're 100% correct. They still get mad. They have like, some people are just emotionally very stunted. You know, there's people who are emotionally intelligent and then people who are emotionally stunted. And I would consider Martina one of those people. Thank you, Silly Poo, for the 5 pounds. If you like cooking chicken parm, Meaty Pretty has a pretty good recipe. Oh, yeah? You should drop it. You guys should check out Silly Poo. Silly Poo. Very funny channel. Very cutesy, but funny. Kind of like adult humor. And S'more, $2. The movie Carrie is even better if you picture Pearl as Carrie and Venti as curly hair girl who survives Carrie's melty. Thank you. And thank you for the $10 super chat, Sasha Lamora. Brittany is live streaming the content of Champions. Don't say Champions. You're making me want to play League again. Guys, really quick. They placed me in fucking Bronze 4. I came back from League after years of not playing. I played for 5 years since Season 2. And I've watched a lot of LCS when I was younger. And so I went to go play some ranked, and I was doing great. I won like, I think like now, like 9 out of the 10 games I played, okay? They placed me in Bronze 4. And then when I win a game, I win 33 points, which is good, right? But then when I lose the game, I lose 22 points. Before, when you played and you had a good MMR, you would lose like 10 points and gain like 30. So now, and then they added like more tiers. There's something below bronze now. There's iron, and then they added another one between platinum and diamond called emerald. I swear to God, after I won like the 9 games or whatever, spamming Leona, I swear to God, guys, I almost lost. I almost had a Melty Martina style when I saw they added some rank called emerald. Like, I'm never gonna get to climb. It's over. Emerald? Who did this? Oh my God. Like, there's 60 days left of this season. There's no way I'm gonna be able to climb out in time. I'll get out of bronze in probably a few days. Optimistically thinking. Because I was in 4 and now I'm almost in bronze 2. And it's only been a couple days, but... Man, like, that is, like, do you understand how bad, for those of you who don't play League, you have to understand, bronze was memed on so much for being bad back in the day because there was less ranks, so it was like bronze, silver, platinum, diamond, and then you have, like, the top tier, right? So now they added extra ranks, and back in the day, if you were bronze, you got bullied to all hell. Like, if people saw you were bronze, it was over for you. You couldn't say shit. Like, people, if you did bad, they would call you bronze. Like, it was like a slur in League, calling someone bronze. And they put me in bronze 4. There's 5 tiers in ranking. They put me in bronze 4. Like, they're doing this shit on purpose. Because they're like, oh, if we put all the old players that are coming back in bronze, that'll make them want to play. Because they know how we feel about it. They know it's a slur. You basically called me the N-word. You threw me into the slur. You called me the N-word, Riot. So literally they know by calling the old players the N-word that it's going to make us pissed off in play to get out of bronze. That's the only reason we would come back, and they're doing it on purpose. And I see Jessica's in game 2, and she's in the same situation, like completely independently. I'm like, hey, it's like, I remember like yesterday she's like, yeah, they put me in bronze too. And I'm like, well, I see we're in the same situation. Like literally all the old players are just playing to get out of bronze. So they're not labeled like the N-word essentially. So now I have to No Life League for the next 60 days. Thanks, Riot. Thank you. I almost wish I didn't start playing and didn't see that. I'd rather be unranked than be bronze. So now I have to like spam Leona support and like carry every game. Luckily I've been getting good teammates too. But I don't know if it's because they're good because I supported them, or if it just happened to be we're all kind of in the same boat where we've been playing a while but like took a long break. I don't know. The queue system is kind of wild right now, to be honest, from what I heard. BM, thank you for the $26. Hey, Britt, I wonder if you've ever eaten nopals cactus leaves, but given your allergies, I'm not sure if you can eat them. Yeah, I'd be worried. I would be scared. Anyways, dropping in to say hi, and that orange looks good on you. Thank you. It's my color. I'm a soft autumn. It'd be better if it were a little softer, but yes, I'm wearing the proto soft autumn color palette essentially. Thank you, Will, for the $9.99 super chat. Good luck getting back your old rank. Thank you. I'm like crying inside. They put me in bronze 4 and they made it hard to climb out. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna lose 20 points every game for no reason at all, even though your MMR is good. Thank you. Anyway, I think I read all the super chats. Oh, stinky face $2 Canadian person. I'm anti-soap. Can you change my mind? No, I don't want like, I don't want you to ruin my brand, so no. Excuse me. Rivian $2, you skip mine. Oh no. Andrew Thomas $5. Happy fall, Venti. Will you be doing a video on Sniper Wolf drama? I feel like she's just perpetually in a state of drama. I don't know what's up with her. I just know her for faking gameplay, I think. I'm like 99% sure that happened, but I'll say allegedly faking gameplay. And her allegedly photoshopping her photos. That's all I know her for, and like her little quicks. Okay, you know what I call her content? Her content is like psychological abuse. She like takes things and like constantly zooms in on her face, clip, like constantly have things moving to just like abuse the viewers psychologically as much as she can to retain that viewership. That's what I would call like abuse of psychology. She is like utilizing every little effect she can to make sure the viewer watches, even if the content wasn't good. Just like every second. Using every little trick. It reminds me of like a PUA, but like for YouTubers. That's what she reminds me of. You know, it's like doing your little tricks to get them. Hold on, I'm still scrolling down. Rivian, trying to find yours. Graham Paltican, what do you think about the channel streamer Not So Erudite? I don't know. I don't know yet. Dangerman, $9.99. I read that one. And Rivian, $5 super chat. I tried to find your old video on SBBSK and I couldn't find it. Do you have the same opinion on him? SBBSK? What does that mean? I literally can't figure it out. Tell me what that means. Sam Marv, thank you for the $2. Hey. And being a member for 65 months. What's your opinion on Chud Jack? I don't know. Dave Vishaj, $5. Love your videos. They look great today. Already read that one. Some of these are like repeating for no reason. Or whatever. Towns, $10. I think I read that one. Yep. Okay. There we go. Should be up to date. Let me know if I missed one. But anyway. Raid Shadow Legends? Wait, is that what the acronym was? No, it wasn't. SBBSK? I don't know. Brittany's going down the what's your opinion pipeline. I know. It's so funny. if I have an opinion, I'll let you know. You guys know that. Okay, so basically, let's get into the Martina stuff. She made this long post, okay? This long post. You can see it says show more there. We'll get to it in a second. She says, who's the stalker? The person who has made tons of screenshots of someone who has them blocked and makes videos of them. Videos. Just 2, by the way. Was 1 before this one. 2. The first one from 4 years ago, and then the new one. But she loves it. You know, Martina and her little plurals, right? Like with her, I'm in magazines and billboards. Magazine and billboard. Because I've only seen one in researching. You got to show the others. It's her in this pluralization of words. She just like, oh, 2 videos. Or someone with no clue what they post because they block them. I didn't know all the posts she made about me because she had me blocked. I found out through researching. Because I'd seen a couple of them pop up. I'm like, Jesus, still? And I go and I see, and there's a bunch of posts, even on her Instagram, about me. Only finds out videos of themselves through someone else. Yeah, I mean, people sent me her stuff too. What is her point with that? But yeah, you can see she's doing the know you. Who's actually the stalker? Know you. And I think I proved my point by pointing out that Martina is heavily monitoring me and kind of stalking me. But she's one of those people who will just like reply to things and be like, yeah, but not really say why or explain anything. So she just always thinks that she's right. She has some sort of ego issue. And she's like, oh yeah, you're such a stalker. You have all these things. Like you have tons of screenshots. Meanwhile, by the way, on her little melty she had on Twitter making like 20 different tweets. Let me show you something. So Pearl responded to her. And she responded to Pearl as well. Because Pearl is buddy-buddy with her. Because birds of the same feather flock together. And says, the stalker accusing the victim. She's the victim, guys. The victim. Okay, let's go over this really quick. She's claiming to be the victim when she sided with the person who deplatformed me over deplatforming me. Saying I was in bad faith. I showed all the receipts in the video. And I'm sure they're still up. But she says that I deserve to basically be deplatformed because I'm in bad faith with the Eliza Blue thing, with asking her a question, then her reporting me and getting my account censored, which was, she had her admission of guilt. We saw that. And also the fact that she goes and insults people like Anna, unprovoked over her looks, insults her art, posts her own art to say, oh, look how much better my art is. My teacher said so. But she's a victim? She goes around doing the things she accuses me of. But she's the victim. But yeah, she says, her, the victim. Accusing the victim of stalking is the most stalker thing to do. She really thought you could, she's trying to Uno reverse. You know, she's whipping out the Uno reverse. And it's really funny. The person replying is like, classic gaslighting, which is the component of narcissistic behavior. And then Martina's like, so true, Kate. Meanwhile, the post here, I don't know if it's a woman or man, but the post here saying classic gaslighting, which is the component of narcissistic behavior. This could have been literally about Martina. You could have literally just switched it to Martina and it would be describing her. So I thought that was funny. Also, her talking about saving screenshots, by the way. I mean, me having screenshot, like, oh, all these screenshots, right? Meanwhile, in response to Pearl and in response to another person, she posted this twice. To Pearl saying she's being gaslit. Martina is being gaslit. She posted a screenshot of my Instagram. Martina posted a screenshot of my Instagram saying only a true victim of stalking follows their predators on social media, then complain when a predator blocks them. Okay. Now, I'm going to blow this photo up so you can see. I wonder if anyone else noticed something. Do you notice something about this image here? For those of you who follow me on Instagram, I want you guys to open a new tab. And if you're on PC, or have a second phone, and open up my Instagram, the Brittany Venti one, Instagram.com/Brittany Venti. And that's her circling it, not me, by the way, the follow back thing. And I want you to tell me what's wrong here. Yes, it's an old screenshot. Do you know how old this screenshot is? It's 3 to 4 years old. It's going on 4 years old, this screenshot. Look how old the photos are. This is when I was in New York. 3 to 4 years ago. Followed by manlit pill. Sorry. It says it right there. Yeah, so she's posting this really old screenshot in response to Pearl accusing me of gaslighting Martina. Shocker. The other person who's used to being dishonest. And she's being very dishonest. Posting this old screenshot. So why is she talking about, like, oh, who's really the stalker? And she has all these screenshots. Meanwhile, she's posting a 3-year-old screenshot. 4-year-old screenshot almost. And pretending it's new. Like, she's presenting it as if it's new. Because she has me blocked. So that's very interesting that she would pretend that this is a new screenshot and then complain about, oh, Brittany's such a stalker. She even saves all my stuff. It's like, you literally had that screenshot ready from 3 to 4 years ago of my Instagram? But yeah, there's a ton of people in the comments that are simping her and being like, Martina, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. Like this one. I'm going to go through her long tweet in a second, but the simp is like, I don't mean to suggest otherwise. He's talking about blocking me. I never suggest ignoring work's just a way to mitigate damages. And then she said, oh yeah, for sure. I'm busy with a baby anyway. She has to always throw in her baby into the mix. Like, I'm so busy being a mom. I'm so busy having a baby. Meanwhile, she's spending her precious time with her newborn, making an entire, 10 tweet thread or however long it was, insulting Anna, unprovoked, and saying how much better she is because she's a better model and has better costumes than her and better art than Anna. But, everyone else is just a jealous woman. Then she replies, I'm busy with baby. Her whole thing is to hurl abuse. So now I'm abusing her. Guys, I literally tried to buy this woman's comic, and she's saying this literally I'm harassing her. I'm abusing her. This is the type of woman that would falsely accuse a man. This is that type of woman. This is hurling abuse. Making one video 4 years ago criticizing you is hurling abuse. Buying your comic, giving you money, which she didn't refund from what I saw. And you can see even the screenshot, one of the ones she posted on her Twitter, it says unfulfilled. So I didn't get a refund as of making the video. I checked both my bank statements. I didn't see it. And yet I'm the one hurling abuse. And try to shut up anyone defending themselves. That's not advocating for me to be deplatformed by encouraging other people like Eliza Blue, for example, is not defending yourself. That's just her being a part of the cancel culture that she constantly uses to grift her way through various podcasts. So I have to point out her flaw in argument and move on. You haven't been able to move on in 4 years. Clearly she can't take her own advice. Stop killing her. No, we're gonna get into that in a second. You guys are not gonna believe what she said. It's so funny. She's actually just psychotic. It's wild. I'm sorry you're going through this. As hard as it seems, best option is just to not giving fire to oxygen and ignore best you can. And once again, the whole I'm not gonna give Brittany content. You just did. X20. You just did. So, I ignored her for 4 years. Huh. She ignored me for 4 years? Oh, that's interesting. We'll get back to that. She continued to harass and torment me. during very serious and personal times too. Yes, I need to keep track of Martina's personal and serious times. I have to keep tabs on her life of like every personal thing that happens to her. And when it's happening to her on her convenience, I'm not allowed to criticize her because I should psychically know that. Insane. People think ignoring works. It does for odd troll, but not dedicated stalkers. Absolutely delusional. So let's go back to the "I ignored you for 4 years" comment, because it's not accurate. Okay, we're gonna go through her quote unquote ignoring me. Okay, Miss, I ignored her for 4 years and she never stopped. Okay. Citation number 1. Oh, look at that upload date, January 27th, 2023. This year. Wow, that's not 4 years ago. She uploads an entire YouTube video. I believe it was multiple YouTube videos on her channel. If you guys want to go check her channel really quick. Not me saying to harass her, just so you guys can verify my receipts here. She uploads this video, one of 2. There might have been more. I don't remember. And it says, "Thank you, Brittany Venti." This is on her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel, okay? Where I'm supposedly a stalker. She uploads a video. I have not interacted with her in years. In this like 3 to 4 year period since the one of 2 videos I've made, the second one being in the past week, I did not interact with her. She uploaded this video January 27th, 2023. Okay, she's been ignoring me for 4 years, right? "Thank you, Brittany Venti. Make sure Martina Mercoda gets the recognition she deserves." And it's just basically some like crazy guy doing crazy things. She says it's one of her stalkers or whatever. And it's hard to take her seriously when she says that because she's calling me a stalker. But I don't know. Everyone does get stalkers. Could be the case. He did seem kind of crazy, but nonetheless, she's basically blaming me for her stalkers. I have no connection to this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. And she's blaming me for this guy wearing a mask and saying some crazy thing to her. And she uploaded to her personal YouTube channel, put my name in the title, and then blamed me and said, "This is what happens when your entire life's work is about attacking other women and telling your followers, give her the attention she deserves." But she's a star. I thought Martina is a star, right? Don't stars get attention? She's a influencer, right? I mean, she doesn't do that much content as of recently, but she was on Timcast, right? Now when she's bragging about being on billboards and shit, billboard, okay? When she's on billboard, there's no problem with getting attention. When she's on podcasts saying she's gonna get no problem with attention, I get it. You don't want to deal with stalkers. Nobody wants to deal with stalkers. But why is this suddenly a problem if I say to give her attention? I didn't say go harass Martina. I say, "Hey, this is funny. Look at this kooky woman." I didn't say go report her, go harass her, any of that. So, yet she's claiming to ignore me for 4 years and uploading this video in 2023. It's very interesting. Going that far to upload a video. I'm pretty sure she uploaded more videos about me in that period than I did of her, actually. Hold on. I'm going to go to her channel really quick. Maybe I shouldn't, guys. It might be considered abuse, you know? I don't want to abuse her. Okay, literally look at this. This is her YouTube channel, okay? Comes right up when you type her name. How many videos of me are on here? Okay, so in this whole 3 to 4 year time period, guys, I had one video on her. Didn't interact with her for years. Okay? I think I brought her up like maybe one time on a stream because it was something related very briefly. And then when Carrie Smith had her on, I was like, oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Meanwhile, in this 3 to 4 year period where she's claiming I'm stalking her, look how many videos she uploads of me. Stalker video 1 of 4. Thank you, Brittany Venti, Martina Mercoda. Then she posts another one of some weird guy licking a knife. And then again here. So that means she uploaded like at least 4 videos. Meanwhile, I only had 1 of her. 1. Billboard. Just 1. You know? So when she's doing the whole no you and I ignored her for 4 years, just know that that's complete bullshit. Like, there are so many times where she brought me up, just like completely unprovoked too. Okay, let's bring up some more examples of her ignoring me for 4 years in case we forgot here. Okay. Disgraced icon. Stop. Okay, her Instagram comments. Martina, are you familiar with Mary from Tim Pool's Politics? I feel like y'all would get along. Just an innocent comment like, hey, what do you think of Mary Morgan? And Martina's like, fuck that bitch. She knows Venti. Literally, like, she literally tried to bully me because she's Venti's buddy. She's a creepy weirdo who looks perpetually dirty and greasy. Does anybody even know what interaction she's talking about? Like, does this interaction even exist, or does it only exist in her mind? Like, how me stalking her does. Because I've never seen Mary really interact with Martina. And at the very least, not in recent time. Like, have you guys are online? Have you seen? I don't know what she's talking about. I would love to actually see what she's talking about, but knowing Martina, she could be making it up. I don't know. And then, because of Martina saying she looks perpetually dirty and greasy, which, by the way, isn't that anti-woman? Isn't that very anti-woman of Martina? Isn't that very misogynistic of her? Didn't she call me anti-woman for criticizing women? And then here's this comment of her calling Mary from Tim Pool's network dirty and greasy. Just calling her dirty and greasy randomly under her own photo of herself as hipster Barbie. That was like, you know, it kind of looks, this photo kind of looks like when you go on Instagram back in like, I don't know, like 2015, you like use the default filters and you put like the exposure up and all that. She just like posted this random old photo of her like edited into Barbie. I think what this really was about was she found a way to bring me up because she knows that I'm associated with bimboism and Barbie. So she got mad, and I think that's why she's like mentioning me under her picture of her self-edited into Barbie by coloring herself pink, and she calls it hipster Barbie. So, and then look at that as a reply too. Like, this person is replying to her saying dirty and greasy, insulting another woman, her being anti-woman, and she's basically encouraging them to do that in a sense, right? According to her own logic, she got a reply calling the girl a pug. How is that not anti-woman? How is that not, is that harassment in Martina's eyes? I wonder. Just using her own logic here. £5 from Dan Holland. Martina is suing Starbucks for stalking because they keep asking her if she wants a Venti. Damn, that was good. I wish I could. Oh my god, can I heart it? What does that mean? That's so funny. You can heart super chats now. That was a good one. I should tweet that. But that would be abuse. Blaha the Pair 4.99 super chat. TBYS says he likes lifting. Do you like going to the gym with him? Do I like going to the gym with him? I mean, I wouldn't be doing it with him though. That's not how it would work. We would be doing it separately. Ideen Schmid. I can't pronounce that. I tried. 23.99 euros. Thank you for being a good person. Must be hard to cope with idiots all the time. Yeah, I'm Martina. Everyone but me is an NPC. I'm walking around New York. There are a lot of NPCs in New York, especially now with the TikTok NPC trend, to be fair. And do not underestimate the power of the simple person and the crowd. Good man serve, tried to lead. Calendar Spruch Ende? I don't know what that means. And Spectral Citizen, thank you for being a member for 64 months. Do other content creators get called stalkers when they make videos on other people? You know, that's a good question. I was wondering it myself. I actually don't know. I don't know if they do. They might, but I notice I definitely get it a lot. And I don't know. If I watch someone like Turkey Tom, I don't really see the same, but I'm not on his end. Maybe that's true. I would love to, like, know on his end if he gets that too, the, like, same your obsessed thing, because there's a lack of discernment here for what people seem to understand what obsessed means versus having a job. Even if people disagree that being a YouTuber is a job, you're paying taxes, so. And you're not doing anything immoral for the most part unless you choose to, or anything that's bad for you unless you choose to. The whole job isn't that. $4.99 super chat from Will, the degenerate boxing fan. Is that Andrew Tate? I'm still stuck on the fact this chick actually, because like look at his profile pic and the degenerate boxing fan. Who does that sound like? I'm still stuck on the fact that this chick actually kept photos of your Instagram from 4 to 5 years ago. That's pretty crazy, not gonna lie. Yeah. Meanwhile, like, do you see what I mean with the no you thing? The Una reverse? Yucatan, thank you. Yucatan short sword, $2 Canadian. Martinez admitted to not wearing deodorant. Where'd you see that? I don't remember seeing that. Also, hi Nina. Good luck getting back your old rank. Oh my god. S'more, $2. I'm almost silver 1. Get good. You have a head start. Okay. So back to Martina ignoring me for 4 years. So this is another content creator, so to speak. And she posted about Jennifer Aniston speaking on having children. And then Martina replies to it. You'd think women are more empathetic unless you're Brittany Venti. Like, she just found a way to just throw my name in there. She was like, oh, her name's Brittany? Oh, let me throw Brittany, the other Brittany, under the bus real quick. You would think women would be more empathetic unless you're Brittany Venti. Then she would mock your empty, childless uterus at 33 years old. Perpetually online people, whether male or female, are disgusting. So that would make her, what, like 37 now as a first-time mother? And again, I explained in the video the purpose of me bringing that up. It's like you're constantly ooh bragging like my uterus is better than yours, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. You guys saw the Mary Morgan thing I just brought up. She constantly puts down other women to put herself up. It's not in a I'm critically thinking about this and here's my opinion sort of way. She does it like randomly, like with Anna it was randomly insults her appearance, even though Anna takes care of herself. It's not like she's unkempt or something. And she attacked Mary Morgan for her appearance too. And she also attacked where is that? She got I wore a Lolita dress because I got it at the convention, and I never got to wear Lolita before. And you guys know I'm into fashion. I always love Japanese Lolita style because you look like a doll. Weird people fetishized it. That has nothing to really do with it. That's their own demographic. But a lot of women who like it just like that it looks like a doll. So I put on the dress and I don't have anywhere else to wear it. So I wore it and I think it's cute. And she's like, cause like I guess some person here who's like her simp is like joining in on her. Either someone who dislikes me, so the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or it's like some simp of Martina. And so Martina's like, what's with the frumpy polyester crap she's wearing? It's called, well, technically Otome, because I'm not wearing a wig, but whatever. Lolita. It's called Lolita. Okay, now, there would be no actual reason to make, unless you're in a really, really hot climate maybe, you're not wearing Lolita every day. This is like I'm going to a tea party outfit, okay, with my girls. This is not like a red carpet event. This is I'm going to somewhere very specific and special, so I'm dressing up this way, usually with the girls, right? Why would that have to be made of like linen and cotton? That doesn't really make sense. Like, especially with the different textures in Lolita, such as sparkles or shiny things. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So she doesn't really know what she's talking about. I think she like learned the word polyester and she's just like trying to use it in sentences. Like, yeah, I know about this thing. I know about this one thing. Meanwhile, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I can't say with certainty because I don't have her thing to read the tag, but I'm pretty sure when Martina does her whole blingy nipple thing with the veil over it, like she does like every costume, I'm pretty sure that veil isn't made of like silk. Like polyester, yeah, it's generally bad, but it does have a time and place. So that time and place would be in temporary things you're not using a lot, such as Lolita or Otome, whatever the technicality is. So she took the opportunity to insult my cute dress. So she's constantly doing this, constantly being anti-woman, constantly bringing me up, but she's ignoring me. She's ignoring me, though. Here's another example. I couldn't go over all these in the video. It would have been too long, but this is Brittany Venti, but in the wild, not hiding behind a computer screen. Also bet she's less of a hypocrite attention seeker. And the video is basically some woman yelling at another woman about her clothing. And she, like, gets rabid about it and acts crazy. And then she's like, this is literally Brittany Venti. So she's bringing me up a lot for somebody trying to ignore me. And then there's this one here also from 2023. The other one was from 2023 as well. Recently as July. From this summer. Yeah. Ignoring me for 4 years, my ass. Maybe she should just, like, get good. Maybe she should actually get good at doing. I mean, she doesn't have to if she just wants to focus on being a mom or whatever, but, like, you don't have to resort to doing all that. Like, insulting all these women, like, insulting Anna's art just to put up your own. Why don't you actually just get good instead of making refrigerator art, Martina? Oh, and here she is demonizing me. So this is after the fact. This is when she started having the melty after I made the video. Seriously, what in the beliefs is wrong with her? Of all people to develop this level of unearned hatred for you, why? Because the simp cannot quantify criticism of his waifu. And she says, exactly. I'm perfect. Evil. Literally demonizing me. Because if you dare, it's just like her comic book. If you dare deface her billboard. You know, it's like her, it's the IRL version of, in her comic when her billboard got defaced. It's like, what did she call her merch again? Whatever icon. It's that like disgraced icon. That's literally what that is. It's like, that's her word version of that, of like, how dare you criticize me. That's why she calls herself that. The disgraced icon. So I'm disgracing the icon by criticizing her. And I'm evil. I'm a demon. I should go as that for Halloween. Why go as something you're every day of the year? You know? And then, so after that, after she insults my dress, and she calls me evil, and all this shit talking, she has an entire meltdown. I'm gonna read the long tweet too, in a second after this. But she says to this person, so the person says, you don't deserve this. Someone satisfied in their own skin and soul doesn't act this way. May she get help soon, because she's so above me. You know, that's the Christian thing to do, to like, put yourself above other people and act like they're not as good as you. You're on a pedestal. That's very Christian, apparently. Clearly, somehow, like, I feel like the worst Christians are on the internet. I don't know. It really is a breeding grounds for the worst people. But anyway, Martina replies to this person saying, you don't deserve this, queen. And she says, exactly. I hope she finds peace. So after all that, after insulting my dress, calling me a stalker, calling me evil, you know, going through all these things, saying she tried to ignore me, like spouting libel before this, like during the video, like all these times where she's like pointed the finger at me, the screenshots I just pulled up where she's like, that's literally Venti, like taking any opportunity to throw me under the bus. But now she hopes I find peace because she's a good girl. Stop. She hopes I find peace. Bless my soul. Yeah, no you don't. You do. Stop. You're not fooling anyone. She's now taking the high road. Oh my god. Like, the fact that she calls herself a disgraced icon really highlights how high of a pedestal she puts herself on. But she's trying to act humble here and like, I'm so much better than her. Like, I pray for her soul. Like, you just spent how many tweets How many tweets talking about me? How many tweets speaking poorly of me and other women when that's anti-woman? Please. Little Jeep 499 super chat. We know she had a superiority complex when she oohed about her angelette. Oh yeah, but it's just like amazing how this is just such a pattern. It just keeps getting worse. You know, I thought like on some level, like there was like a tiny part of me that was like, would she have the self-awareness to not victimize herself again? No. And then she didn't. Hadith Mercado 499 super chat. Talk about Elisa Jordan. Oh yeah, I read that one. Sorry. Anyway. I also, by the way, she's very predictable. I want to show you how predictable Martina is. So you know how Discord you can timestamp things? Because the day you send it, it timestamps it. And it'll show you if you do edit it. So you can see that this is not like edited. I just entered it. And I predicted this when I was making the video. Martina will have a meltdown, which will allow me to do a follow-up stream making fun of it. And lo and behold, predictable Martina manages to do it. Anyway. Let's read that tweet. After years of harassment and bullying, including trying to break up my marriage with lies, tormenting me about not having children and being old while I was having miscarriages, because I just should psychically know that. Which, by the way, she clearly has not watched the video, because I addressed this point. Like, she was talking about how she's so fertile when I made the video. Now it's suddenly, oh, but I was having miscarriages. And trying to degrade my art by calling me a whore instead of deleting her video on me because I'm a disgraced icon. You're not allowed to disgrace me. I am holy. Admitting she did, instead of deleting her video and admitting she did something wrong, she tries to spin this by pretending I'm the delusional stalker. How dare she? Disgraced icon. After all I went through, now I take care of a newborn. And breast milk is affected by stress. She's like, it wasn't bad enough that she blamed me for her stalker, blamed me for all these things, blamed me for her miscarriages, but now she's blaming me for corrupting her breast milk. I have corrupted Martina's breast milk by making one video 4 years ago and then just now this one to address all of the libels she spouted about me. I'm corrupting her breast milk. And breast milk is affected by stress. I have to deal with her trying to buy my comic under a fake name. And then, for the purpose of this hit piece, she got caught in the billing section, deal with more hit pieces. Has it ever occurred to her that perhaps e-celebrities should put fake names on all their packages? Has that occurred to her as somebody who's a e-celebrity, so to speak, right? Like, my apartment building, like, what do you call them? Like, the leasing people, one of them recognized me. And one day I was down there, and I needed another copy of a key. And I was waiting, and he was like, I think I know you from somewhere. Dick fishing? He literally knows me from my video about dick fishing, okay? The stream highlight of me talking about men dick fishing, okay? Imagine your leasing manager's like, I think I know you from, dick fishing? Like, literally that happened to me. So you actually should take the precaution of changing your name when people send you things, by the way. Even if you're not an e-celebrity, it's just like safer to do that, to have an alias. Because I literally got recognized by my apartment building leasing person. And it wasn't because like, oh, he knew my name or anything. He just saw me and like, he was like, oh, dick fishing. Anyway. This girl is evil! She abuses and torments women, not just me, and then pretends her victims deserved it. and then plays victim herself. Oh, that's rich. For years, she's known what she did to me was wrong, for I am disgraced icon. Her video resulted in deranged stalkers chasing me down, threatening me with not chasing her down. I bet this didn't happen in real life, but she wrote it that way on purpose. But anyway, chasing her down, threatening me with knives and guns, and countless more harassing me over being childless as I had miscarriages. Again, we're supposed to magically be psychic and know her fertility when she's online saying how great her fertility is. And again, blaming me for her stalker again, which I mentioned in the video, which is pretty obvious that she didn't watch it. How am I responsible for your stalker? Because I criticized you? Insanity. Her business model is bullying. She doesn't look inward. She pretends she's the one who suffered. That's what makes her money. Meanwhile, my child will grow up with videos made by her online about his mom. Oh, thank God. Thank God it's a son. If that were a daughter, it'd be over for her. Like, have you guys seen Mommy Dearest? Hold on. Just really quick. Really quick so I don't get copy struck. Okay. This scene. The scene where she races her daughter in the pool.
It's not fair.
Hold on. So she doesn't want to race her, and then she races her because her mom pushes her to. She's all tired. About to throw up.
You lost again. It's not fair. You're bigger than I am. It's not fair to win twice.
Ah, but nobody ever said life was fair, Tina.
And then she says this.
I'm bigger and I'm faster. I will always beat you.
That's literally what Martina would be if she had a daughter. So I'm so happy she had a son and not a daughter, because that would be a nightmare. Anyway, back to the reading. Okay, so she blames me for her stalkers, calls me a bully. Meanwhile, my child will grow up with videos made by her online about his mom saying, I attended satanic orgies and cheat on my husband. The satanic orgies, yeah, if you just go watch the first video. Like, literally, it's described as a fetish ball. But I digress. All this from an advocate for women. It is fake. She is disgusting. And if you even have an ounce of sympathy for this girl, you are just as bad as her. Or you do not understand the scale of her bullying and sickness. Disgraced icon. Instead of just deleting her video and admitting that she was telling sick lies about me and my husband was wrong. Brittany needed to find an excuse for why she did it, because she's now an advocate for women. So this is her strategy. Double down and lie more. And again, so when I say, like, she says things but then doesn't really, like, back it up, this is what I mean. Lied about what? Like, you have to complete the sentence. Lied about what? Because when I say things, I provide the receipts. Like, if not now, in the video. Because live stream. It's kind of hard to just pull things out of my ass constantly. Brittany, leave me alone. I have asked you countless times. Meanwhile, her for the past 4 years, mentioning me any chance she can. Brittany, leave me alone. I have asked you countless times. I am a housewife and a mother. That means she's better than you, okay? She has a newborn, okay? That's her shield. You're not allowed to criticize her. She has a newborn. She's a housewife and a mother, okay? You know what this reminds me of? You know that first scene in Kill Bill where she goes for, what's her name, Copperhead or whatever, the black chick, and Uma Thurman goes in and she eliminates her, and before she does, the black chick goes, I know I screwed you over real good years ago, but I can't go back and change. And she's like, I don't care, bitch, I'm gonna kill you anyway. And then she's like, I have. You can't do that. You can't kill me. What about my daughter? And then Uma Thurman's like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your daughter. I'll cut you up tonight. Let's go to the baseball field. Like, this is literally, like, by the way, clearly not a threat. Just an example from the Kill Bill movie of, like, using your kid as a shield. Like, just throwing it in people's faces. It's like when people are super entitled on airplanes because they have children. That sort of vibe. It's like, you can't criticize me. I have a son. I have a newborn. I am a wife. Like, that's her defense. It's actually crazy. So there's a part 2, and it says, it's really long, I warned you. So she tells me to leave her alone, and then, you're approaching the age I was when you taunted me for not having a child. Bitch, no, I'm not. I hope you don't go through the same trauma I did, caused in large part by you. I caused her miscarriages by making a video criticizing her online once. Delusional. You tried to and as you try to conceive and enjoy the early years with your child. How many times has she used her kid as a shield so far? Has it been like, since I made the video, has it been like 5 times? It's crazy. You would throw your kid in front of you like that. I'm literally corrupting her breast milk. P.S. She is obsessed with the angel blood thing more than me. Does she not understand artistic license? I was a working artist, and newsflash, artists are weird. Wow, she's so quirky. Artists are like weird. So it's actually okay when she's like delusional and like, how dare you laugh at it? Because she's a disgraced icon. She's holy. Quite the ride. And she just has so many, like, I could not believe how quickly like, as soon as I woke up from making that video, I just had, like, an entire, like, thread of Martina tweets. It was, like, 20, because I knew it was going to happen. Like I said, I predicted it, but it's, like, obvious. She has a very strong pattern behavior. But, yeah. I already addressed the reason why her age is mentioned. Because some people were like, why do you mention she's middle-aged? Because she constantly makes herself like, I'm better than other women. I'm going to keep dragging other women down. And she also isn't acting her age. Like, and it's, I don't want to have to explain everything to you guys. Like, because then it's like, I have to treat people like they're dumb. So, like, for example, in the video with the pseudo-intellectual, I forgot her name, where she like has such a thick French accent that it's hard to understand her, but she's supposed to be a philosopher in English. And it's like, but people can't even understand you. But people are like, no, you're just being like racist or something. It's like, no, you're missing the point. Same thing with this. It's like, I'm mentioning she's middle-aged because she acts like a 14-year-old. She acts like a 14-year-old on MySpace. Like a high schooler. It's like, she is 37, 38 years old, however old she is, acting like this. I think she's like 38. She might be 39. I don't remember. But she's like a middle-aged woman acting like a high schooler. Dan Helen, 5 pounds. She's been taking Child Shield tips from her friend BS Bullshit. Oh yeah, they all, like I said, birds of a feather flock together. Same, it's these, she falls into the same category. You know how Eliza, Cassandra, and Martina, as I said in the video, are like flocking together because they're like embarrassed about their sex work past, but they're grifting off of conservatives. BX Bullet fits right in that circle because she is also someone who was lying about her OnlyFans, saying, oh, I'm doing cosplay, but it was actually just lewd photos. There was not really much costuming going on. And then in her streams where she was dressed up in her like more provocative clothing, she has her kid running around in the background. Meanwhile, BX Bullet, for example, used to do a lot of like predator hunting, right? And so when she's doing this predator hunting, and that same Twitter feed has your child in it. You have your child in live streams, you have your child in videos, but you're hunting predators. Like, do you understand the danger you're putting your child in by doing that? Like, she's over here talking about how many stalkers and harassers she has too, just like Martina. Meanwhile, she's like putting her kid up. She put her kid up as a shield from the Destiny stuff too. back when her YouTube channel was up. So it's the same kind of archetype of woman. And they tend to stick together. And they always claim, like, they're pro-free speech or, like, things like that. And as a tendency, at least. And then they will kind of, like, censor you when they want to. Like Martina rooting for it. Or, like, Cassandra siding with Eliza, too. Or in BX Bullet's case, she has the same attitude of, like, oh, yeah, Destiny? Well, you need to control your audience. And blames him. Just like how Martina blames me for her stalkers. Yeah, it's kind of like Karen behavior. And then they do the YJJ, the you're just jealous. And by the way, in regard to deplatforming me and her supporting it, the Eliza Blue thing isn't the only thing with Martina. This person said, report the video for harassment. So you're not allowed to criticize her, yet my video must be taken down. Okay? And Martina replies to this. Okay, this tweet has 10 likes. She signal boosted it. And she replies to it and says, she has people on the inside who help her. So here we go again. Here we go again with like her claim about me being with Antifa and everything. And, you know, I'm just like orchestrating right-wing and left-wing attacks on her. But I have people on the inside who help me now. No matter how much I cry victim for the sake of conservative attention. No matter how much she cries victim for the sake of conservative attention, she never gets her account removed or anything. She's free to harass people at will. It's abuse, it's harassment, but she can do it. She can go around calling Mary Morgan dirty and unclean looking, and then her followers say she looked like a pug. And she can go around calling Anna, that Star Wars girl, Ben Shapiro, how she looks like a man, how her art's ugly unlike hers because her teacher said so. But if she's criticized, if it's actually critically thought about, you use critical thinking skills to formulate an opinion on her, that's harassment. If I buy her comic book, that's harassment. I'm abusing her, according to her, and I'm harassing people at will, and I'm only protected by the YouTube gods. Like, it's crazy how she doesn't have the ability to stop and think for a second. The Expo isn't free speech. She literally said that Destiny had to ask her permission to make a video on her. Yeah, I remember that. But I'm saying as a tendency, these people who have, like, the sex work past that they're embarrassed about, and, like, they act very emotional, and they're, like, kind of like middle-aged women. It's like this archetype of woman is what I'm trying to say. She would fall under that archetype. Yeah, BX Bullet. But yeah, Martina's literally signal boosting this person saying to report my video for harassment. And she's like, yeah, it should be taken down. But didn't she go on Tim Pool talking about how she got canceled for the millionth time? How can you go around complaining about that, and then if somebody criticizes you, you think they should be deplatformed? That's pulling a fresh and fit, where they copy struck people for criticizing them, like Abba and Preach. But her making a million tweets about me in this 3 to 4 year time gap, where I didn't say much about her, maybe like the 1 or 2 times. One was the Carrie Smith thing, and I think I brought it up once on a stream. So this whole 3 to 4 year time period, she's uploading 4 videos. I only had 1, just like her billboard. And that's not harassment. Martina's not a stalker. She's not harassing me, right? It doesn't matter because she had miscarriages. So actually everything she does is okay. You know what that reminds me of, actually? That reminds me of that Family Guy clip. Excuse me. Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
This clip. This is Martina.
Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
Literally. Excuse me. You're insulting women randomly. Oh, I had a miscarriage. Oh, never mind. You can go ahead and do whatever you want at all times forever. Like, that's literally what's happening here. I'm a mom. I'm a housewife. You can't criticize me, or else you're disgracing an icon. It's wild. Family Guy mention. Oh, thank you for the $5, Stezzy. But yeah, it's been very funny. Oh, also I wrote some oh yeah, this tweet was so funny too. We're like, so basically she's like, "Oh, my haters are obsessed with me. My haters are obsessed with me being an Nephilim more than I am." So she mentions it the second time. Okay? Get a sweater just in time for autumn to say fuck the haters in style. Because ignorance and envy are full of slander. She literally spouted libel about me, saying I encourage people. I told my followers to go harass her, and said that I worked with Antifa, a domestic terrorist group. But I'm the slander? Hello? Hello, slander? Like, oh my goodness. Also, it's like, oh, this is so sad. Anyway, buy my merch. Anyway, haters, keep hating. I'm gonna sell my merch now about me being an angel, but because they're obsessed with it more than I am. Anyway, here's my merch of me being an angel. The jokes write themselves. Like, it was just so many things. She was having a good old time tweeting about me. These sorts of videos that she and people like her always make are always disingenuous as fuck. She knows better. Anybody would know better. But she pretends she doesn't and puts on a faux intellectual tone, then proceeds to get virtually everything wrong. Then her fan base laps it up. And then she says, so true. Doesn't go into detail how, nothing. Just like, oh, she's a faux intellectual and like, she's just hating. So true. Oh my goodness. But if Martina does something, teehee, I'm just an artist, uwu. We're a little wacky sometimes. Okay, so there's a lot on her comic book. I really wish I could have like gone through her comic book on the video in detail, but I can't for a few reasons. One of which is the constant explicit content in her comic book. So personally, I think it should be categorized as like edo. Like, you know how like in anime, like edo is like there's like explicit, it's like that. So basically her comic book is very explicit to the point where every other page is like nudes or like some sexual thing happening. And because her character is like a burlesque dancer, which is a self-insert, so she just has blingy nipples on like a bunch of the pages. And so I counted, I might have been off by like one page or so, but when I counted, it was 12 of the 44 pages had explicit imagery. Like there was a scene where there's like an funnily enough, she gets mad about me mentioning the fetish ball. There's like an orgy happening in her comic, like of nuns. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, there's like a weird thing with nuns and like them putting things inside of them, behind them. Like, it's pretty graphic. Like, there's a few pages where it's pretty graphic and then the rest are like nudes and stuff like that. It was like roughly 12 out of the 44 pages I counted. So that's one reason I couldn't really go over it and had to censor it a lot. I actually had to rewatch that video several times just to make sure that I didn't have like anything explicit on the page, because like I actually missed it a couple of times because it was just so like often, like I couldn't catch it every time. So I had to sit there and make sure that there was not porn on my video because of Martina's comic. Space Manchis $5 super chat. Who is even this chick Martina? A disgraced icon, duh. By the way, looking great in orange. Thank you. Are you guys ready for spooky season? My candles from Reed Street Soap are helping me be ready for spooky season. Lil Jeep. I already read that one. Okay, so also, like, she's kind of discriminating against me. Like, she not only didn't sell me her book and stopped selling her book because of me, just so I couldn't buy it, to try to prevent me from buying it. Obviously, I got a copy, but also, like, she's discriminating against black women. Like, just say you're like racist, Martina. You're discriminating against black women buying your comics. And I wrote an in-depth review, or more in-depth than what was in the video, and I had to delete a lot of it because it was like I had to read through it 3 times just to get what was going on. It's not because I'm stupid. It was because the writing was really bad and all over the place. Like, when you would turn the page, it would just be something it would just be a completely different setting. And it's just like how the comic book abruptly ends too. That's kind of consistent throughout the comic, of like the 44 whatever pages are in there. And the actual story is like so funny because it's like, oh, I'm a fallen angel and everyone loves me. And I went over that briefly in the video, but like the details are so funny. It really is. It's a shame I can't go through all of it. But like, for example, she visits a guy in a bookstore, and he just like randomly pays her a compliment. He's like, and he becomes like a character in the book, but he's only shown in like 2 scenes or whatever, and or like 2 instances. And he's like, Martina, I mean Lady Alchemy, your hair and teeth are so beautiful. Like, it's just out of pocket. He just says that to her. She just enters his bookstore. And he's like, yeah, I could tell you weren't a druggie because your hair and teeth are just so beautiful. And I don't know. It was quite the ride. I also thought it was funny that she only had 1 billboard in the comic too. Like, only 1. Just 1. And there's this constant reoccurring theme in Martina's comic where it's interesting that she calls me evil. You know, to put it into perspective, in her comic, she says, will you be a good witch or a bad witch? That's the villain asking her that. Oh, good. I'm good. I promise. Like, just this constant, like, am I good or am I evil? Like, why does Martina project this, like, internal struggle of her choosing between being good and evil? Sounds like a personal problem for somebody who accuses me of being evil and demonizing me for criticizing her. Like, and there was another instance, too, where she did it, actually. Here's the guy that said she has, like, nice teeth and hair. That is up to you. You choose to be an angel or a demon. That is your free will. So she clearly has some sort of projection going on here. Some internal struggle between choosing evil and good. Because this character is a self-insert. Also, there's this, like, performance scene where she's like almost naked, like implied nudity, and then she's like doing this ritual, and the poses are very stiff. She's kind of just like this. Like at one point in the page she's like this, and she's like golden Jesus. I think that was later in the book. And then during her performance she's like just stiffly like this. Like, you know when you're new to drawing and like you see someone who's like really amateur and they like have this stiff posing and they're like this? She's like this, like casting a spell. Like, there's no dynamic posing at all. It's just like this. With, like, her swinging her titties around like this. So it's like that. And she's, like, casting a spell. And that's all that's shown to depict. It's just her going like that, stiffly. And, then in middle of the scene, a bunch, like, literal tentacle porn happens. Like, a bunch of vines start going on her, and it's really hard to see anything because everything's in like red. It's like this blinding red with like a lack of shadowing to properly showcase it, because the art is just like very all over the place throughout the comic, and it's just like a tentacle scene basically, but it's like vines instead of tentacles. So, yeah, she's just like a Mary Sue throughout the whole book. And like, oh, look how pretty she is. That is the sentiment of the comic. Like at one point, and as far as like the drastic changes with the setting, by the way, there is one point where she does some like woo-woo doo-doo. She goes to a farm, does some woo-woo doo-doo, and pulls a sword out of her ass. And then it cuts back to her like going and putting those harlots in their place, those ugly fucking skanks who defaced her billboard, like the disgraced icon she is. And then that's when she shoots the coom beam at them. Her artist must have been trolling her. Like, how do you get away with that? Like, they put a coom beam in there that was white for defacing her billboard. You can't make this up. Like, I literally think her artist got that one by her. And then there is a lot of stale dialogue throughout the comic book that I couldn't really go over. You got a little taste of it in the video. Like the, you smell like angels wish they smell, like that. Also, excuse me for burping. I forget still sometimes to say excuse me. Anyway. So, there's one point at the end of the comic book where the villain suddenly is like, haha, yes, I am evil, and transforms. And then she's like, you dare to challenge my ancient power? I am Venia, the Chaos Serpent. Like, it's just very LARPy, stale text, and then, like, it's just another excuse for Martina to, like, glorify her again for, like, an entire page, instead of using that page to, like, give a little more depth to the characters. And, of course, like, Venia, like, can't be a complex villain anyway. No, she just has to be evil. And this is kind of, it kind of shows Martina's psychology, like, her psyche, of her, how she demonizes me, right? She has to do the same thing in her comic. There's no depth to it, right? The villain is just evil, ugly woman. She's just jealous of Martina, who's a fallen angel in the comic. It's so funny because the villain's complimenting her too in the comic. She's like, oh, she's delicious. She's sweeter than most. So, yeah, it was a real joy to go through, but for the same reason that watching The Room is a joy or reading Sonichu is a joy. Because the writing was just really bad and the art's really consistent and randomly takes quality dips. And she, instead of explaining characters and improving on her writing and actually developing a story, has to use entire pages of herself getting glorified as Golden Jesus and such. Danger 5, 4.99 pounds. I never directly interact with her on Twitter, but I'm blocked. You must have blocked me for defending you on Eliza Blue or someone else. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, guys, I explained in the video how many people she had blocked. It's to paint the, it's to frame it. Meanwhile, it's like 4 years of her, like, bringing me up. Sounds like she's stuck in 2017. Yeah, maybe. Is, you know when people are stuck in high school, like, and that's when they peak? That's kind of what Martina reminds me of. It's like, she always has to think back to her personal, even though, like, objectively, it wasn't that impressive to a lot of people, but, like, to her, like, that's her glory days. So she was like, I was on Billboard and shit. So, that's her version of being stuck in high school, you know? So it's like, I was on Billboard. I was in magazine. I was on the football team. I was Stacy the cheerleader. It's like, yeah, you peaked. And life, and time doesn't pass for them. Like, time doesn't continue for them. It's kind of like being dead. You're like, you're spiritually dead. Like, when time stops passing for you, that's when your spirit dies. Because think about it, what is death? Death makes it so that time stops for you. Time does not go on for the dead. So you're literally not living. You are stuck in a prior state mentally. It's my Hello Kitty pen. That doesn't work. It's vintage. I got it in California. Anyway. Smart, thank you for the $2. You can buy billboard space easily and relatively cheap. I know. I know. It's not like you need, like, anything special. Billboards are like, what, $500? in a lot of places, like not in like New York City or whatever, but like in normal places. And even with like the Las Vegas thing, it wasn't like it was her billboard. She was just kind of like an extra for the sexy steakhouse. Like, that's so memeable. Sexy steakhouse. Imagine your right to fame is like, I was on a sexy steakhouse billboard. It shouldn't be that much big of a humble brag. It's really not. But for her, that's her peak, right? That was her being a cheerleader in high school. You see? Not unless it's something like Times Square, like what Tim Pool did. Even then, it's like, if you're just an extra for a sexy steakhouse, I don't know. She was on business cards. She had clients. Michelle Miller, 4.99 super chat. Random but curious how old you are and what your necklace means. It means that it's cute because it has a moon on it and it's Halloween time. Don't know these people, just found you, but tell you're so real. I'm on Team Brittany. I'm like 37. I'm Martina's age. Everyone can vouch for me in chat. Okay, don't tell them it's 38. I need to be 37 a little longer. It's a witch thing? I literally got this from Etsy. I know witches are on Etsy, but like literally it's just like a cute choker. Reading a little too deep. J314, $5 super chat. I love that you capped off that deeply insight on morality with a Hello Kitty pen. The duality. You see this, you know how, you see that rose that died, suspiciously died only after 2 days? Despite me only lighting a candle around it for 2 hours of filming, and then today. That's Martina being stuck in high school. That's her burlesque. It's a dying rose. You know who looks really good for their age? Nina. Like I to this day, I'm still waiting for Nina to tell me what she's doing to look that good. Like, her skin is immaculate. I don't understand. Like, I want to know. I must know how she naturally is just... Her skin is, like... She permanently looks like 23 years old. I don't get it. Share. It's insane. Let me show you guys how Nina looks. Like, wait, is that her? No, I don't think it is. Hold on, let me go under, like, media. It's dangerous scroll. Let me scroll on my end first. See if she posted something recently. £199, Danger Man 5. Don't give out your age, it adds to your mystique. I'm whatever age I feel like at the time. I identify... Oh, here we go. Like, but that's not like a close-up photo. But she is very skinny legend. Like, her physique alone, timeless. But her skin is, like, so good. Here it is. Okay, like, look at her skin. Do you see what I'm saying? Immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. I mean, everyone's skin here is good, but I'm saying, like, because of Nina's age, like, I could not believe that when she told me. I think she's trolling. She has to be trolling. Like, her skin's literally better than mine. Literally just, like, flawless. No markings, no wrinkles, nothing. Yeah, she must be a Nephilim. Everyone has nice skin. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times I've been to a dermatologist. Like, I just literally have health issues, and I deal with like adult acne. It doesn't show up on stream because like the lighting or whatever, but like I just like break out the same time every month no matter what I do. It's hormonal. It's always the same exact spots, never anywhere else. And like no matter what diet restriction I do, what supplements I take, like some things help, but nothing like completely gets rid of it. And it's so frustrating because I am immaculate with my skincare routine. Okay, I apply my I never skip a night of tretinoin. Okay, retin-A, I never skip. I have the max dosage. I never skip the night of it. Okay, I never went outside without sun protection. I did everything right. I did everything everyone said, and I still have adult acne. I don't touch my face. It's nothing. It's literally hormonal. It's always the same exact area, this one area, nowhere else, certain time of month. I took spironolactone, and it's supposed to be this thing that like essentially they had me like transitioning. It's this thing that like women take that prevents acne because it blocks a hormone, essentially like an androgen or whatever. So basically if it messes with your hormones and it like temporarily like fixes it as long as you take it. And then I had a weird side effect that apparently nobody else gets, and I started getting hives, like hives I never got before. I started getting hives on my neck, like massive hives from my shoulder to my neck. I never get hives there. Even when I eat corn on accident, I never get hives there. And just like, it would just flare up all over my neck. And there would be times where like, I would be on it and I would be close to passing out. Like, it was really, really bad. I couldn't keep taking it. And so it didn't work out for me. So then I tried the Winlevi, which is like the topical cream. Same issue. Hives. I don't know. It's something with the hormones. Like, even if I mess with it, it's causing my immune system to freak out. So then there's Accutane, which I could try, but I'm scared because I'm already very photosensitive. You guys know I had to take breaks from live streaming because I get migraines. I'm very, very light sensitive. Even driving is an issue if I don't wear like blue light glasses, and it's really frustrating. Because my job, obviously, is to be on camera and stare at lights. It's to the point where I'm thinking about just not being on camera anymore. Because right now it's okay, but, like, my setting's going to change soon. I'm moving, and I don't know if I want to deal with that again. Because the lights take up a lot of space, too. I don't know. But Accutane scares me because the side effects sound like exactly the thing that would really mess me up. Because it makes me more light sensitive. It dries your skin out even more. I have eczema. Like, I just literally have medical issues. So, like, it's really frustrating if, like, you get a pimple and then everyone else, like, assumes, like, it's because, like, you're, like, not clean or, like, you don't take care of yourself. Meanwhile, like, I am, like, so on point with my routine. And I use very, like, simple products. I make sure I read every ingredient. I'm very low risk with my products. I do everything. Tretinoin every night, sunscreen every day, careful with the sunscreen. I use vitamin C and make sure it's in the pump so it's not oxidizing. I've done all the research. I've done everything. I've literally tried everything for my acne to the point where I'm considering going on Accutane because, like, literally nothing else has been a solution. Either that or going to, like, an endocrinologist. That's a hard one to say. So I'm thinking about doing that. But, like, I've literally tried everything. So it's really annoying because, like, it's like curly hair. It's like I work so hard on this. It's like 4 hours every wash day, only for it to, like, be, like, frizzy, and then people saying, oh, brush your hair, oh, it looks unkempt. And it's like, I work so hard on that. It's like this high maintenance BS that doesn't look high maintenance. You don't have acne? Yeah, on camera I don't. It doesn't show up, but, like, it's definitely there. You just can't see it on camera. And, like I said, it's always the same time of month. I'll get it down, it'll be great, and then flare up. It doesn't matter what I restrict. If I restrict dairy, it doesn't matter if I restrict sugar. Nothing works. yeah, I have an air filter right now. All the filters are changed. It's not that. I make sure, like Sean even makes sure his filters are always changed too. Like I'm very, very like careful. I'm very particular about my skin. I'm super, super careful. And like nothing has worked. Like to 100% get rid of it. Things have helped, but nothing has like made my skin look like normal skin. Like my skin is like moderate acne to light, depending on what time of the month it is. Other people, and it's crazy to me, because I feel, okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I feel like I'm the only person in the world that deals with adult acne. Like, I swear to God, I go outside, nobody has acne. The only people I've ever seen with acne are, like, Starbucks baristas. Like, I go to people's houses, nobody has acne. I go everywhere, nobody has acne. I feel like I'm always the only person in the world with acne. You look online, nobody has acne. It's crazy. Have you tried NAC? Yeah, I take NAC every day. I'm telling you, I've researched, and I've looked up and tried everything. It is hormonal, and I don't have a solution for it. And I tried spironolactone, and it made me break out in hives, and I have a corn allergy, so it complicates everything, even with medication. Ugh. And my mom had it too, so it's probably genetic. I don't know. I do face peels. Like, I've done everything. You never get acne unless you stop eating keto. My diet's already restrictive enough. I can't mentally deal with keto right now. I already eat a lot of I eat a lot of protein. Like, that's why when you guys see me make my quesadillas, I like stuff them, because I don't want to be fat and like make a bunch of tortillas and eat, because like I think it's like $1.50 per tortilla, and I don't want to have to make 2 of them, so I stuff them. So it's a little messy eating them, but like I'd rather do that. Like, I'll skip out on making sides for dinner if I have to. If it's appropriate, obviously. Like, you're not gonna make curry katsu with no rice, right? High fats cause more acne, so keto may not work. I did check out my diet according to blood type. I read that book. I have literally tried everything, guys. Like, I don't understand why it's so stubborn. I tried taking no supplements. I tried taking supplements. I read every ingredient on the supplement because of corn allergy. I have an entire app for it. The Fold is better. It's skinny. It is skinny to only eat one. Like, why am I going to sit here and eat a bunch of bread? A full circle tortilla is too many calories. Full circle tortilla? Oh, like 2 of them? That's still too many. Have you tried infusion with Nephilim blood? You know, you're so right. I should try that. But yeah, like, you want to know the most effective thing for getting rid of my acne was? My adult acne. And it's going to be, okay, I'm just going to say it. Like, literally saying to myself, like, my skin is always clear. And then my skin clears up for like a month. And then somehow just like, oh, nope, you have acne again. Like, literally, that's the only thing that works. I swear to God. It's akin to praying. Like, that's the only thing that's worked. Like, oh yeah, my skin's always clear. And then it goes away. And then it comes back like after like a month and a half later. I don't know. Explain that. Yeah, you cut the quesadilla like a pizza? Oh. Well, maybe if I were like... Wait, that's the easier way than folding it, in a sense. Because I could do it and then cut it in half, and then give you half, Sean, and then give me half, instead of like making 2 separate folds. Stress can cause acne? It could be that. It is honestly kind of stressful to have to fact check every single thing for videos and research and write and all of that. Like, men are built for that kind of stress. I'm not built for this. Excuse me. Okay, I want to show you this video I saw on my feed.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, people are calling because of this shit's funny.
He's just like smoking a cigarette
The
indoors.
service is super bad. The service is really bad. Huh. Yo, I'm not kidding though. I'll smash your fucking camera right now. No, I'm not playing. I'll smash.
Like, he's going to a gym and smoking a cigarette inside. Does he realize it's not just like an annoying thing to do? Like, this is an actual health risk.
Sit out. It's out, bro. It's out. Why is it still burning? Burn your fucking hand then. Put it on your fucking hand then.
It doesn't even hurt.
How do you do that? Bro, I'm not playing with you.
I'm not. It's out. How
do you do that?
It's out.
I'm not playing.
It's out.
How'd you light a cigarette?
Wow, he's like cowering to the guy. It's kind of funny.
It's out.
Please don't beat me up. It's out.
I'll smash your fucking camera.
You don't. It's out. I'm putting it out.
Please don't beat me. Please.
I'm not playing. No, I'm really not playing with you.
I'm not playing either.
Actually. Like, actually.
Yo.
What do you want to do? Decide what you want to do.
Okay, it's out. It's out.
Decide what you want to do.
Brad, it's out. It's out.
Make your mind.
No, this is way worse than eating a
fucking
cheeseburger
gym,
at the
period.
gym.
Bro, it was half a cigarette.
I know, but I'm not good. I'm not good with that.
Yeah, okay, so the problem with this, those of you who aren't like literally die from a gust of wind like me, okay, literally if you have asthma or allergies and someone did that, you would have to go to the hospital. Like, imagine you're at the gym and you go into shock or have an asthma attack or have your face blow up because somebody's smoking in the gym to make content. Like, this is incredibly selfish and such an asshole thing to do. It's so stupid. He could literally get sued over this. He could literally kill someone. Like, I understand not everybody has that issue. Not everyone has asthma or whatever, but you literally could. This is an enclosed space. There's no ventilation. And people are working out. They're already exhausted. They're already out of breath. Imagine you have asthma and then he's like, hoo, smoking a cigarette. Like, I would be absolutely furious if I were in there and somebody lit a cigarette. So, I think that Sneeko deserves to be confronted over that. The video is not real. Well, he says that he had approached him earlier, but that he had did it again and that he's not okay.
You do that shit again,
I'll let play.
I'm gonna end this. I'll smash this goddamn camera right in front of your.
But even if this interaction were fake, it's still, if there's other people in the gym and that are just like they don't know Sneeko and he's just smoking a cigarette, that's a very asshole thing to do.
You do that shit again. I swear to God, bro.
Yeah, the smell does linger. There's definitely ventilation in the gym. Not enough to suck up a cigarette. This isn't like a hair salon where they have a vacuum above your head or like a hibachi.
Smoke weed in here. You're not smoking cigarettes in here.
One half a boat.
I'm not kidding.
Like, that shit stinks. Like, okay, you could say this is personal opinion, but I think weed is way less offensive of a smell than cigarettes. Like, cigarettes are, it is so gross. Like, yes, I'm biased, but also it's like, same thing. It's like allergies or asthma. And yes, cigarettes are different than weed. I could attest personally. So.
Smash your fucking camera right in front of you. I'm not kidding. You said that. You're disrespecting me by smoking in my fucking gym, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all.
It's out. There's no more cigarettes.
Like, he could have just vaped too. Like, vaping is it's still rude and you still shouldn't do it. But like, it's way less offensive. Why would you smoke a stinky cigarette when you could vape and not plague everyone's air? Not plague everyone's fresh air while they're already out of breath working out. Like, you don't tell someone you're gonna smoke a cigarette and then you just smoke a cigarette in their gym. It's moronic. Again, I don't know. Maybe it's like set up or whatever. But if it were that scenario of just like, I'm gonna pop a cigarette in this gym, in this enclosed space, that's so gross. Really skeeves me out. And people who smoke don't realize how bad it smells, by the way. They like burnt their sense of smell and taste, so they don't realize that it's very, very offensive. Like, if it's even just in someone's clothes, like, I literally can't be around them. Who smokes in 2023? I don't get it. I really don't. Okay, so I don't know. Like with alcohol, you don't have to take the vodka shot. You can get like a cocktail that doesn't taste like alcohol, you know? Same thing with cigarettes. Like you don't have to smoke the cigarette. You could just vape and not offend everyone around you and smell like absolute dog shit. S'more, $2. Martina gave you acne. You gave her sour milk. It was so funny. That girl, I don't remember her name. She was like in Martina's reply. She was like under the thing where it's like she put her name under Danielle Dahl, but actually I unveiled who she was when Martina canceled her comic, so I couldn't get it. This woman that was under the comics that makes like she was in the comment section. She makes like videos sometimes, and I think her name's like it started with M. I don't remember. She like made a thing about Blair one time. She got really mad about Blair being trans once. And she was in Martina's comment section being like, I think she named herself Danielle Dahl because she was doing voodoo. I was trying to hex you. Oh my god. It's like nobody even questions what Martina's saying, but like go on me for like, oh yeah, that bitch. She was probably hexing you. Don't even question any of her claims though, or hear my side of the story. And how she's actually been the one stalking me for 3 to 4 years. Yeah, that's why I put his name to hex her. I wouldn't give you the energy. I don't get paid to do that. I would pull it up, but she blocked me. Excuse me. Will Super Chat 199 is just luck of the draw. If acne's just luck of the draw, then like... But then, like, you wouldn't want to do anything about it if you just felt helpless. Intel Wild $2 Super Chat. Rolo is a God. Of what? Of being... Of being what? Yukton Shorts Word $2 Canadian. Mr. $5 chat. Also, what's worse, cigs or good? Well, cigarettes, 100%. Hold on, I'm scrolling down to read everyone's. S'more, $2. When everyone was thinking of the Roman Empire, Nina was thinking of the Persian one to stay young. I'm going to start thinking of it if that gets rid of my acne. Patrick T, $4.99 Super Chat. Digging the orange. Nice. Thank you. That's color theory. That's why you guys should know your color season. Push-ups 2, 3, 4, 5, $5. I can't get over her commenting on the video of us hanging out at Matsuri. Having met both you and Martina, you're definitely more chill. Oh yeah, she did use that photo. Like, she had polyester. Oh, not the polyester. Let's see. I'm scrolling down the find. Okay, wait. I see the $2 one, the deodorant thing. Where's the other one? Oh, I'm still scrolling. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Why does it not pop up? Apocalypse, $2. Rolo, God of the Con. God of the Skullet is what he is. I kind of want to try the cactus leaves though. It was mentioned earlier. Yeah, let me see the $2 one. Sorry, I don't see it. Oh, I see it now. $5 Canadian from Yucatan. Short sword. Martina has said that it's because of the chemicals that she doesn't wear any deodorant. There's deodorants without aluminum in it, though. I don't wear deodorant with aluminum. The point is she calls Mary dirty when she's probably really stinky. It's interesting. Well, when you learn that everyone at all times is constantly projecting because they're only seeing the world through their lens and how they feel about things. You can usually reverse engineer stuff people say to realize what's going on in their psyche. So, yeah, again, with her saying like Mary is dirty, it's like, well, reverse engineer that, right? People telling themselves all the time. If you consider that people are always projecting. You've been caffeine free and cig free for 7 years? I don't know how you did caffeine free 7 years. I can take like a few days break. I've taken a few months. Ashton, to answer your question, it's 0.1%. It's the max percent. Wait, what was I saying? I don't remember. You're a smoker, aren't you? Ew. At what part during my cigarette rant did I come across as a smoker? Oh yeah, caffeine breaks. So like the longest I went on a caffeine break was like a few months because I had an issue with my head and like a migraine issue, and I was basically debilitated for some months and couldn't stream, and I was doing like voice only videos, and they did pretty well. I should go back to doing that. They actually did like surprisingly well compared to like the amount of effort this takes versus that. But yeah, it was fine, but I always felt super tired in the morning. Like every morning it's like, God, it's like 2 hours to get out of bed. And plus caffeine, this is not medical advice, it's just my experience with it. And I've said this before, but I think it's really underrated and important information. Caffeine can help your allergies, at least they have in my experience. And I found out by accident. I was going into shock and I had caffeine, and then I stopped being in shock and I was like, huh. And then I looked it up, and it turns out that caffeine can help you with allergies. So for me, there's a partial medical reason because I have really like a really hard time getting up in the morning. Like I think I have bad circulation / immunity issues, and then coffee helps and also helps allergies for me. So I drink coffee. But I'm sure there's some cons. Like I heard it turns off like a part of your brain or something when you're a woman. Because it makes you like very like hyped. So certain areas of your brain are allegedly working and not others. I don't know. I'm not a mathemologist, okay? I don't know the different areas of the brain or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how you go completely caffeine free for like 7 years. Maybe you switch to tea. I'm kind of traumatized from drinking tea. I've had my face blow up like this. Sean was with me one time when it happened. I was drinking, I think it was like green tea or something. No, it wasn't green. I think it was like, I forget which one it was. It wasn't chamomile, was it? It was one of the herbal teas, and I drank it, and something in it is, I guess, the same allergen, and my face started blowing up, and he had to like run and get me allergy meds before it like got worse. So now I'm kind of traumatized about drinking tea. I think they use like pesticides in it or something. I'm like a canary. Like you can kind of give me food and see if it's actually that bad for you. Because usually when it's, I'm like allergic to poor things. So like if you give me something that's bad quality or low quality, I'll probably like almost die. And then you can usually tell how good something is from that. I'm a living canary. Yeah, I make my coffee with the Chemex because that's the correct way to make it, to get all the health benefits with the paper filter. And I don't drink any dairy with it to make sure I'm getting all the benefits and it's not binding to the dairy. People drink coffee wrong and then they don't get the benefits, like the health benefits from it. I found that out on TikTok. And then I never drank dairy with my coffee again. But yeah, that's why I don't like French press or anything. I only get like dairy in it if I go to Starbucks. That's different. That's not the same thing as like me making coffee daily here. That's different. Like, that's like I'm going to get a treat when I'm going to Starbucks. That's not like I'm trying to get health benefits from coffee. Will 199 super chat. I love your dark sense of humor. Is that a black joke? It's because I'm African. Oh, that was crazy that the Miss Universe was like literally me. She was showing some light-skinned African representation. I think she actually is mixed because if you look at her bone structure, it looks kind of like Candace Owens. You see like the wide set eyes, the wide nose. She's probably mixed race. And everyone's like, you're not black enough. It's like, bone structure is a factor. Like, the shape of the face. Like, these are black features. Like, I have a lot of these features. But yeah, thank you to my albino African goddess for the representation. Thank you. That's right, we was. Like con man, scratch my head. Do you want to try again? Did my candle blow out? Oh no, it didn't. The wax is just higher on that side. My wife is being introduced with our second child in 6 hours. Oh, induced. Induced your second child? Oh my god, you should name it Martina. Does it have Rh negative blood? I say it because you didn't say the gender. Yeah, Mutt Power. My throat hurts. How did I used to do 4-hour streams? That's crazy. Patrick T 199 super chat. We're all mutts anyway. Yeah, but you know, it's one of those Goldilocks things where like you have to be the right kind of mutt online to get validation from certain groups to be allowed into certain clubs. What have I been doing lately? Oh yeah, so I watched Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. That was a cute anime. I mean, it's kind of weird that he's like 100, but like also they went about it in the most wholesome way possible. And he's like waiting for her. Like he's like okay, so like I don't want to spoil it, but basically like the ending, they cucked everyone. I'll just put it that way. They literally cucked everyone. It was a good anime. It was wholesome. It was like romantic, cutesy, pretty anime with a, like, if you ignore the he's like a 100-year-old fairy part or whatever, but like they're being very wholesome about it. And so it's kind of like Inuyasha. It reminds me very much of that, the dynamic. And then the last episode, they're like, haha, fuck you. So I'm very pissed about that. I'm very annoyed because that was the first anime that I have enjoyed that's like new in probably like 10 years. So I'm really pissed about that. But I would still watch it. It's still cute. They do kind of like give you what you want, but like they kind of cuck you at the end. And they do it on purpose so that they can make another season if they want. But yeah. And oh yeah, when I came back to League, by the way, all these new champions, I don't know what's... One of my games, I won the game, but in one of my games, like 4 out of the 5 enemy team were new champions. I literally was like, I don't know what to do. I literally had to ask my team, like, what do I do? And they're like, dodge this person's E. Like, apparently Katara is in League now. For those of you that play League, you know who I'm talking about. Like, she's literally in League now. What's her name in League? It's like Nala or something. Nyla, that's her name. Nyla. Literally, they just like put Katara in League. ignore that. Because in the anime, there's no sexualization going on with like the girl. Like they're not upskirting her. They're not posting lewds of her like how Gura does, literally posting lolicon all over her Twitter, or her company's doing it, whatever. And she herself said she's okay with it. So yeah, there is a little bit of a discernment, if I do say so myself. And they, like I said, they went about it pretty wholesome in the anime. I bet you didn't even fucking watch it, did you? No, you just want to be a moron in my chat because you're coping. Like, remember when people couldn't go around in public announcing their love for literal children? And how, like, they jerk off to them? Remember that? Remember when, like, people actually had shame? Remember when people couldn't make, like, manga art of literal children? And then, like, pass it off like it's not? And it's like, then you have these creeps on Twitter, like, sexualizing actual children of, like, the McDonald's ads and stuff, where they don't even have the technicality of being 9,000 years old. And then these people are like, make porn of this little kid depicted in the ad. And it's like, clearly this is affecting, because I remember seeing this tweet from Shu, and she had posted a photo of herself as a kid getting baptized, and one of her followers was like, on Twitter, oh, you are a lolly. And it's like, you're actually seeing children that way. You are actually seeing them in that sexual way. So it just makes people dehumanize whoever they're jerking off to, whether it's women or the children. Like, oh, if they're so different, why is that happening then? Like, why did they only do it to that type too? It's very dehumanizing. I'll show you what I mean. This one. Like, they're like, no, that's literally the same as your wholesome anime, where literally I'm mad because, like, they kind of left it open-ended. Like, it was wholesome, but, like, also, like, maybe do a time skip then? But, like, this is not the same as apple sugar fairy tale. Please stop. Oh, the thunder just hit. God agrees with me. He also agrees about you know, something needs to be struck down by some lightning. But yeah, like, lolicons literally view children as like lollies instead of actual fucking children, because the porn is brain rotting them. Maybe they were rotten to begin with, but porn is brain rot, and it causes you to dehumanize whoever it is like the person, the subject. So if it's a woman getting brutally, you know, essayed, then that's how they view women, as like someone to do that to. Or like, same thing with children. Oh, you're viewing it in anime? Like, well, now this is how you view kids. And they also, a lot of the time, like, people get into like the DDLG shit, putting on diapers and stuff, and literally you can grow an attraction to these objects. So what happens when you're attracted to like women wearing diapers? You're attracted to diapers, right? You're attracted to all of these child instruments, so to speak, like a binky, whatever. What happens when you see a kid doing it? And you see a kid playing with those things? There's gonna be a connection there with your brain. You have made the neural connection. There's a neural pathway there. So it is causing brain rot. I mean, this is like something you can just Google at this point. The effects that porn has on the brain. So why would lolicon suddenly be an exception for that? It makes no sense at all. Oh, no, it's different when it's children. Like, what? So all these things are true for porn, but suddenly when it's children, it's not true. But I'm the villain for pointing it out. I'm the villain for talking about it. And it's like, I don't care how delusional you are. I will still speak on it, because children have the right to innocence and to not be sexualized and called lollies. Like real life children getting called lollies and getting seen that way through perverts, brain rotted perverts. No, I don't object to an art style. It's not the art style. It's not an art style that's a problem. And I think people are really trying to miss the point on purpose and try to be like, oh, so you're against art? Oh, so it's like, That is not what I said. Like, we clearly see when something is goo goo gaga 5-year-old child. It's not the art style at that point, because everyone else in the anime or whatever world or verse it is looks like a normal adult, but then the girl literally looks 5 years old. Okay, yeah, you're fooling nobody except other delusional coomers at that point. It's like, oh, it's an art style, but only for that one character. Okay, that's not how petite women look, even when they have neotness features. Even a woman who has extremely neotness features, looks very young for her age, and is petite, would not look like a 5-year-old child. And if they did, it would be like what? The one girl that had like a medical condition or something? Yeah, they're all just thinking about the one girl. No, clearly there's something very perverse and dark going on here. And people don't want to acknowledge it, because if they do, they have to acknowledge that it's something wrong and they're already addicted to it, and they don't want to acknowledge that because then they feel like a bad person. Like, I could like apple sugar fairy tale, right? And they went about it as wholesome for the most part as they could without it being like completely like empty. But like, I still am like, yeah, it is kind of weird he's 100 years old. Like, I don't know why they did that. Like, why not just make him normal age? I guess technically they did it because like they had to write in the lore for him knowing certain things, and you wouldn't be able to know that unless you were 100 in the story. But still, I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's like, or watching Twilight, you're like, huh, Edward's 100 years old. That's kind of weird. Like, you can acknowledge it's weird. But like, these people won't even acknowledge that Lolicon isn't just like, oh, it's like quirky. Like, no, they like, I'm not calling it quirky, by the way. I'm saying that's how they say it. Oh, like, no, this is fine. This is completely normal to sexualize children and to spread virtual CP everywhere and then act like that's going to do nothing to your brain and who you're attracted to. No, you just want to hold their hand. You're a grown man consuming that content, but you just want to hold their hand. It's innocent. You're like a big brother, right? You're like a father. You like, stop. It's not normal. And it's very disturbing. And you used to not be able to get away with things like this. Because why? Because that shit endangers children. Spreading that, making more people attracted to that, training their brains to be attracted to children and infantile behaviors is dangerous. They're going to become attracted to those things. Absolute brain rot. Like, the solution is to just work on yourself. Go to the gym, right? Learn about how to look good, learn about how to style your hair, learn about what fashion looks good on you, and go socialize, learn how to socialize, and actually work on getting somebody in real life that's a significant other that makes you happy. Instead of consuming this virtual CP online and then sitting here and pretending it's not wrong and pretending it's not creepy. Like, it's actually crazy. Because if it were photos of like real kids, like, it would be called CP. So what? So when it's virtual, it's suddenly, oh no, she's 9,000. Shut the fuck up. It literally makes no sense. Suddenly, like, okay, porn can cause changes to your brain, causes brain rot, increases brain gray matter in your brain, makes you develop fucked up neural pathways, right? And you start associating things to other things, causes you to develop fetishes because of that. And then when people have those things like a binky or a diaper, you get your pee go hard, right? You're developing a neural pathway. Oh, that, yeah, true. That all makes sense. But suddenly, children, oh, no. Suddenly, that's all out the window. It does not work the same. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't buy it for a second. Oh, suddenly when it's literally like goo goo gaga children doing infantile behaviors, literally drawn exactly as a child, but every other person in the series is drawn as an adult, or at least looks like they hit puberty. Oh, no, like, it's just an art style. Eat shit. Delusional fucks. But suddenly it's an exception, and you wouldn't be attracted to that or attracted to childlike things or children that have those things, right? Suddenly that's like, that's not happening when it's children. But when it's adults, Yeah, you can, guys, yeah, it's like, oh, everyone's willing to talk about, oh, yeah, you could watch porn and turn trans. You can watch porn and turn gay. Or you can watch porn and develop weird fetishes. Everyone's like, yeah. Maybe some people disagree with the first couple, but, like, most people are like, yeah, porn makes you develop weird fetishes because you need a harder and harder hit because it's an addiction. But then suddenly, when you mention lolicon, that's out the window. Suddenly, everything no longer applies. Oh, but now it's not, because Japan is like, is heaven and pure and base. Like, you're not allowed to talk about that. I wonder why their population is unable to reproduce. Maybe perhaps it's the virtual CP that goes on in their country that makes men not reproduce and actually go for healthy relationships. Have we thought about that? Maybe that's why McDonald's has to make an anime ad just to encourage people to do that and actually reproduce and have children, because they're too busy jerking off to virtual CP and drawing sexualized drawings of what looks identical and acts identical in the animation or whatever of children. I wonder if their population not reproducing has something to do with that. The absolute degeneracy that's normalized there. I wonder. And I love Japan. I love a lot of aspects about it. You guys know I watched anime since the beginning, since I could remember. I literally have watched anime for like decades at this point. I'm learning the language. Okay? I'm coming from the perspective of liking anime and learning the language. And yet nobody wants to talk about that though, right? About the lolicon. Because why? Because they dogpile you when you do. That's why. They harass you. They try to deplatform you. They spout libel. They're insane. That's why people don't like talking about it. Like, it's... Where's the... why is there that disconnect? Oh, yeah, porn causes you to develop weird fetishes. But not lolicon, though. Oh my god, I'm getting spammed. Neurons that fire together, wire together. $2 Canadian from J314. Thank you. Patrick T. With 2,199 super chat says, I'm just learning about this. So the touching was bad in the ad? The touching? What do you mean? What? In the McDonald's ad? The McDonald's ad where they're just like a family eating? There's nothing wrong with that ad. The point of them making that ad is because they know their target demographic. It's Japanese McDonald's. So they make a family gift because they know their population is declining, and that is like something that would maybe help like brighten the mood or brighten the spirits, or like, because that's what art does. It reminds people of messages. It reminds people of things. It gives them certain feelings. So they have that like anime like lo-fi looking image of the family eating, which I don't think there's a problem with that. But then, like, this person's like, oh, make porn of her immediately. And it's literally a kid. Like, it doesn't stop when they're 9,000 years old. And also, like, the 9,000-year-old argument is stupid. Like, obviously, like, some people are like, oh, that's not even actually the argument or whatever. But why is it that, like, people defend lolicon, right? But how come they don't defend toddlercon? Now, I'm not saying you should defend it. I'm saying it's bad. But if the logic is consistent, you would be able to defend toddlercon as well, wouldn't you? There's literally a baby going, oh, and they literally can't walk and you're able to hold them. Oh, but she's 9,000 years old. Oh, but like some women look like that. And it's like, no, these things don't hold up. And it's because it's wrong and it's gross. And it trains people's brains to be attracted to that shit. And it's gross. And it's dysfunctional. Mental illness. So if lolicon were actually correct and like had a leg to stand on, they would be doing that for toddlercon, but you can't, because people would then for sure be able to point it out and be like, you're psychotic. So it's really interesting. What's their opinion on toddlercon then? Surely that would be okay in their perspective, right? If somebody like does something to a baby and puts stuff all over them in the drawing, right? Surely that would be okay in their logic too then, right? Because the baby's 9,000 years old. It's just a drawing, right? Oh, but suddenly the logic's out the window. I don't know. It's really weird how all these exceptions exist for lolicon. It's really strange, isn't it? But I've made other content like explaining my point of view. If you guys want to see this video, where I go through it with where is that? Oh my god, it doesn't even pop up. This is, guys, this is why I don't do anti-porn content. It's like literally impossible. You just constantly get struck. Like, you get deboosted, so to speak. It's insane. But this video, I went through a detractor, Rev Says Des, and he was basically arguing that few years ago, I go through in the video, but he's basically like, oh, she's not promoting lolicon. Now he's like, oh, actually she is, and it's a good thing. So I go through my stance here and go through everything. So if you want to watch that video, being attracted to children is being normalized, you can go watch that. If you want to hear my like thought out opinion on lolicon. But this is me just saying off the top of my head, like, that I don't think the logic is really consistent. And why is it that all the men that like lolicon turn out to be creepy and ugly? Like, they either are like, it's like one of three things, or maybe all three. Like, they're creepy, ugly, or they have like some sort of trauma. Like, they were like essayed in some way. Like, they have some sort of trauma. And it's like, it's interesting. It's a very consistent thing. But yeah, that's the video if you guys want to see it and make sense of what I'm saying and understand where I'm coming from and like the nitty gritty of like, oh, do you mean like an art style? No. And I'm like very specific about that in all of the like videos that I've made, especially the ones clarifying it. Where's Meltdown? You'll have to rewind for that. I was just going off about lolicon because I can't ever do it in videos because YouTube won't let me, essentially. Like, literally, YouTube deemed Gouda to be too sexual and removed my video. Like, literally, all I did was show her tweets and, oh, that's too sexual and removed it, but her channel's there. It, like, makes no sense. Like, someone promoting lolicon, but, like, they remove my video. Why are you removing my video on it? It's on, I think it's on BitChute still, though, if you want to see it. My throat hurts. I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant and Martina's melty. And you guys should go grab some soap and candles from Retreat Soap. Like the Haunted Campfire. She's actually running out of stock because you guys have been buying so many. And she's now tending to her husband that is going under surgery. Michelle, who makes the soaps and the candles. So you guys should check it out. There's little pumpkin ones over here. There's pumpkins, which I helped design, and there's the bimbo one. Then there's this soap that I also helped design. They're glow-in-the-dark soaps. They do a color palette swap. I talked about it recently in the Martina video, but they're so cool. I'm so happy with how they came out. So pretty, very artistic. And let's see, I thought this candle was pretty cool. I'm like losing my voice. Pecan, only one left. Who's gonna buy it? And let me show you the one that's in the background right now. Also, there's this soap too. The other version that glows in the dark. And oh, here it is. This is the one in the background. The Haunted Campfire. There's bigger ones too, like that one. If you want the big size, I have the small one in the background there. Smells like marshmallows. But yeah. Anyway. Pecan? Pecan? Anyway. Have a good night, everyone. Buy some soaps and candles from Reed Street Soap. I'm gonna link it to you right now in chat.